Good evening, I'm Kevin Christopher.
And I'm Nancy Cox. Thank you for joining us at 6. We begin with new developments in southeastern Kentucky, where state police have issued a warrant for the man they say is behind a robbery and murder.
Gary Medlin, a father of two, was shot in the back as he tried to leave the A&B quick stop on US 25E in Gray during yesterday's morning's robbery in Knox County. Investigators are looking for this man, Philip Lee Lewis III. They say he's the man who was caught on camera walking into the store with a gun. He's 6 feet tall, about 160 pounds, with brown eyes and black hair. He has a tattoo on his right forearm and the left side of his chest. Lewis was last seen wearing a gray hoodie, black pants, and tan boots. He's also wanted in Mississippi for a probation violation. If you see Lewis or you know where he is, please call state police.
There are also new developments in last night's big story at 6. The Fayette County coroner says the man found dead in a Lexington fire yesterday afternoon was stabbed to death. The victim has been identified as 28-year-old Demetrius Gordon. His body was found just after 2 o'clock inside a burning garage on Radcliffe Road in the Marlboro neighborhood. Firefighters say a fire had also been set inside the home. Investigators are calling Gordon's death a homicide.
We believe that he died before the fire was set. We don't know exactly when that may have been, where it may have occurred, but we are following any and all leads that we come across.
If you have any information about Gordon's death, you're asked to call Lexington Police. Well, our Storm Tracker weather team says this weekend we're going to get some interesting weather, and after that, some dangerously low temperatures.
And at a very rapid pace. LEX 18's Claire Kopsky tells us what that could mean in tonight's big story at 6.
It's winter, so cold temperatures are to be expected. But this weekend, LEX 18 meteorologist Tom Ackerman says it's going to be wicked cold.
It's going to be probably our most significant shot. Coldest air of the season, big old Arctic blast tracking in, so it's going to have multiple impacts.
One of those impacts this weekend might require a snow shovel.
It may be enough to cause some issues on the roadways. There's still quite a bit of model uncertainty, though, as to exactly how much we're going to see. So we're kind of in the heads-up phase right now. This isn't until Sunday morning into the afternoon.
In addition to the snowfall, the LEX 18 Storm Tracker team is paying close attention to how quickly the temperature drops. Tom says they're expecting a sharp drop on Saturday night. That quick dive is threatening to cause something called a flash freeze.
It's a term that you don't hear that often, and there actually isn't a textbook definition for it. It really is just referring to a very rapid freeze. And the concern here is we're going to have so much rain Saturday night, and then it's going to change over fast from rain to mixed precipitation to snow, that all that moisture that's on the ground could freeze up fairly quickly.
And he says that the drop that could happen in a matter of a few hours could easily cause very hazardous driving conditions. So if you can avoid being on the road, Tom says you'll avoid a potentially treacherous drive. Covering the news in Lexington, Claire Kopsky, LEX 18 News.
Flash freezes happen a couple of times during a winter when we get an Arctic outbreak coming through, and this one is a doozy. What's also interesting, what could happen if your car is parked outside, and with the rain that we'll have during the day and the flash freeze comes, your car might actually freeze shut. So that gives you something to look forward to as well. I'll tell you, it's an interesting scenario, and things have even changed a little bit from this morning. We've honed in on some of the details for you. You'll have that coming up in the main weather segment. As we look out for you this evening, your Kentucky One Health weather bug camera at St. Joseph East paints another night of dreariness around the area. It's still wet. Max Track Live Doppler, we are looking at a little heavier stuff up to the north. That may be what we call bright banding going on, where there may be some ice crystals aloft that we're picking up at this point, and then it's just melting on the way down, and it's just rain. You've got Lexington, Nicholasville, Richmond, Berea, Stanford, Danville, Harrodsburg. We're all seeing rain. As we go with our future track, we'll continue for the next few hours with the rain around, but it's going away as we go through this evening. We get you into tomorrow morning. It's just cloudy. And the clouds, yeah, they'll hold pretty tough during the day for us. As we get you into tomorrow night, then we begin to see the first effects from the storm coming in for the weekend. Still in the 30s east of I-75, 40s to the west. It's just a damp, dreary night. We will talk about Saturday, and you'll want to stay tuned for it. We'll have it for you in a couple minutes.
Oh, yeah, we'll be listening.
Well, no doubt all of you will be keeping a close eye on the wintry weather hitting Kentucky this weekend.
Yeah, emergency officials in Mason County are also keeping track of this storm system. Maysville has about 600 tons of salt on hand, but pre-treating roads could prove to be a challenge. They're expecting rain until Saturday, and that drastic drop in temperatures this weekend could lead to black ice. Right now, officials are holding out hope that the snowstorm spares Mason County and instead moves farther north. Others, though, they're looking forward to some snow.
Hopefully it rains or snows a lot is what I'm really hoping, so that I can actually go around and shovel snow for storefronts and other people around the neighborhood.
Maysville officials say they're fully equipped for a big snow event with 6 main trucks and 2 backup trucks to treat city roads. You can track the weather right along with us from home by logging on to our website, LEX18.com, or get the same information on the go with the free LEX18 Storm Tracker weather app. It's a free download in your app store. People across the Commonwealth are coming down with the flu, so many health officials have declared Kentucky's flu status widespread.
And now it's forcing some school systems to shut down. Connor McHugh is live in Powell County, where classes have been canceled tomorrow. Connor?
The flu and other illnesses are spreading rapidly here in Powell County, so that means there will be no school tomorrow and no after-school activities until Tuesday morning. That means for the next 4 days, the only place district officials want to see any kids here in Powell County is at the doctor's office. Now, the district made that decision earlier this afternoon. It came in a post on Facebook where the district said it's seen more students and adults absent over the past few days, along with some who are coming into school without knowing they have the flu. Now, the decision also includes canceling all practices, games, and activities until Tuesday morning. The hope is people will keep their kids home so sick students can get better and the healthy ones can stay away from contagious classmates.
I know my son will like it. He'll be off Friday and Monday also for Martin Luther King Day, but it might be a good thing, you know, to stop the epidemic right now before it gets spreads too far.
So hopefully everyone will get well and come back Tuesday morning healthy.
The doctors we are speaking with in town say they are seeing these illnesses in mostly elementary school-aged kids. And they're not just seeing the flu, they're seeing respiratory illnesses and strep throat. They say no matter whether your kid is sick or healthy, it's important they stay home so that the district can hopefully get a little bit of a head start on healing. Covering the news in Powell County from the LEX18 Mobile Newsroom, back to you.
Let's hopefully they can use the long weekend to do just that. Lexington Christian Academy, the Montgomery County Schools, and Washington County Schools have also canceled classes for tomorrow due to illness. In other news, a Danville man faces charges of terroristic threatening because police say he made sexually explicit phone calls to a middle school and a daycare.
LEX18's Catherine Collins tells us how officers were able to track down the suspect, and he has a criminal record.
Danville police say it was about 10 a.m. yesterday when they started getting report after report of anonymous threatening phone calls. First from the Little Lighthouse Daycare, then First Care Clinic, and then Bate Middle School. Officers say the caller threatened to sexually assault children. An arrest report details the words he used. Some are too graphic to share. In one call, the man reportedly said he wanted to rape the little girls.
It was very shocking, especially with it being so close in such a small town, to hear a threat like that made to especially students at a school.
This Bate Middle parent says she was upset to hear about the threats and even more upset to hear about it on the news this morning.
I was very angry because the school still has yet to notify us today.
Officers say they traced the calls and arrested Jermaine Buster in a traffic stop yesterday afternoon.
Danville police say Buster is a registered sex offender and had previously been convicted in a case out of Jefferson County.
That got the wheels in motion and got us what we needed.
Danville Police Assistant Chief Glenn Doan says the arrest was thanks to the quick reporting by those who received the calls. Covering the news in Boyle County, Catherine Collins, LEX18 News.
Danville Independent School Superintendent emailed a statement to us. In it, she says the school acted swiftly when the call came in and worked closely with the police department.
A Harrison County special needs teacher was arrested yesterday for first-degree sexual abuse of a former student. The charges former Eastside Elementary School teacher, 37-year-old Amanda Phillips, faces come after Kentucky State Police say they got a call from the superintendent's office. After investigating, they say they believe Phillips made sexual contact with the student last summer, and that student was only 13 at the time.
You know, teachers are phenomenal. And when you hear something like this, it's the same as when a law enforcement officer does something that they shouldn't do. You know, it's part of the family.
As of this morning, Phillips is no longer employed by Harrison County Schools. A prayer vigil for the missing Kentucky mother who disappeared 11 days ago was held in Texas last night.
Some members of the Ennis, Texas community gathered to pray for Emily Wade, who just recently moved to Texas from Cynthiana. The 38-year-old mother of a 7-year-old was last seen January 5th. She was reportedly meeting a friend for dinner. Authorities have yet to find her silver Altima, and it's not clear if they have any new leads.
Police and everybody searched for the car for days, thinking we find the car, we'll find Emily. There's no sign of the car. We're just praying for the best and trying to prepare for the worst.
Police have questioned her mom and her ex-boyfriend, who shares custody of their child, but so far, no answers. There's been a lot of progress on downtown Lexington City Center recently, and today, another big change.
Watch as crews work to dismantle the giant crane that's been part of the city's skyline for years. That's next on LEX 18 News at 6.